There, so we're live. Hello, everyone. So I'd like to introduce myself. This is Charisha here. I've done my MSc in sports nutrition and been working as a nutritionist since the last 7 to 8 years. And I tend to more of sports people and gym goers. I've been working with gyms like Lina Mogre, United Strength, and presently associated with Planko as well. Doctor, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, hi everybody. I am Dr. Ravi Sohata. I look after Department of Orthopedics, and I head the Level 1 Trauma Center at Artemis Hospital, Gurgaon. It is a corporate 450 bedded hospital which is based at Gurgaon. So I take care of Department of Orthopedic Sports Injury and other parts of the trauma related issues and replacement related issues at the hospital in which I work. And my experience spans over 30 years. I've been in this field, and so we are here. Charisha is going to tell us a few things for those people who are especially beginning to, go out to the gym, especially after a long period of a lockdown, which has been there for good almost a year. I would say it is now, Charisha. Is it?
Yes, yes,
So
exactly a year.
yeah, so most of the people are going to be, as the gyms have already opened up for people, and obviously staying at home has also de-shaped a few of us in that sense, and probably there may be a very exaggerated response to the sports activity, gym activity, which would be required. And Cherisha is going to enlighten us about how to really, prevent certain issues related to the sports training. And at the same time, she's also going to highlight about how to really do pre-workout dieting diets. What should be taken before the you go to the gym and go to perform a gym activities. And also she is going to focus on certain dietary patterns which you need to focus on to lose little weight. So over to you, Charisha, if for the further discussion. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. So yes, this is how it has happened since a year. We've been staying at home and lack of physical activity, and we were making all these fancy dishes and trying them out onto ourselves, and also we've gained a lot of weight, not just anyone specific, but generally everyone has gained a lot of weight and lost in touch, with the health, physical health as such. So yeah, now that the gyms have started, people have started enrolling themselves into the gym without any guidance or anything, and that's the reason why people are not being able to sustain it for a long period of time. Because without any guidance, we've gone there, we've tried our best, we've put in a lot of effort, but the right meals have not worked out. We're not taking the right nutrition, and because of that, we're becoming a little prone to injuries, or then we're not losing the weight, or maybe we're losing the weight but becoming more weak also. That is because we're not having enough of nutrition. So I'd like to focus more emphasis on the pre-workout meal as of now. So before we work out, in fact, when we're working out, we're utilizing a lot of energy. And to the body, the 70% of source of energy is from carbohydrates. Basically, carbohydrates provide a lot of energy to the body. So we are supposed to be having some amount of carbohydrates before we start with our workouts. So carbs can be in the form of, say, nuts. It can be in the form of fruits as well. Okay. So some people are not very comfortable having something heavy in terms of fruits also, and then working out. So we can definitely go for carbs in the form of nuts. So when I say nuts, it can be almonds, there can be walnuts, there can be coconut, unsalted peanuts, and there can be some natural sugars also in the form of dates. There can be dried figs, raisins. So all these, since they are not really high on water content, they are dry, so it becomes comfortable for you also to work out. And during workout, meals are also very important. So even after having these as a pre-workout meal, you are not able to sustain the whole workout, try having more of, nariyal pani, coconut water, even during workouts. So coconut water is basically a mix of carbohydrates, that is sodium. So when you're working out, you're losing a lot of salt through the sweating as well. Even though it's an air conditioned atmosphere, you tend to sweat a lot. Okay, so you have to replenish yourself with good amount of salts as well. So your coconut water gives you good amount of salts and good amount of carbohydrates, so your workout can sustain for a longer period of time. But then, doctor, don't you think that, when omega-3 fatty acids also play an important role in the joints?
Yeah, they it has been for long. People have been talking about, good olden days. They would advise to take a good amount of these various products which have omega-3 fatty acids. It has a strong cartilage repair and regeneration effect. Flaxseed is one of the natural major source of vitamin omega-3 fatty acids. Obviously, fish is another for a non-vegetarian, which adds to a good amount of omega-3 fatty acids. And so, definitely, it does have a very important role in healing, repair, and regeneration of the cartilage. And in fact, it has been seen that those patients where there is already arthritic issues, especially not for a young patients, but elderly senior citizens, which we do get these patients. And if we add omega-3 fatty acids, these days they are available in the form of capsules and medications and things like that. And they do have a certain healing role. Yeah, definitely. That's what they say. And so these are natural sources. Is probably a flaxseed, which is the most common natural product in a vegetarian source, and a non-vegetarian source comes from the seafood.
Right, exactly. So we can definitely include, some amount of nuts. It can be a mixed powder also. Your flax seeds can be there. There can be seeds like sunflower seeds and the nuts. Make a mixed powder and we can have just 1 or 2 spoons before we hit the gym. So that we're getting good amount of carbohydrates also from them. Okay, so yes, that is something that we can have a pre-workout meal. During workout is what I discussed. And coming to the post-workout meal. Okay, so post-workout, when you're working out, you're breaking down on a lot of muscle content. Now, when you're breaking down the muscles, your muscles need a lot of proteins to repair properly again. Proteins and rest. Okay, so you need to give good amount of rest, not overtrain yourself, and give good amount of proteins as well. Okay, so now when I say proteins, it does not really mean that you directly jump to the supplements. Okay, you need to start with natural proteins, let your body get used to with that much amount of proteins, and then you can supplement yourself only if needed. Okay, so the doctor even says that the high amount of protein in the diet can also cause a lot of uric acid accumulation, isn't it, doctor?
Yeah, this is very important, and this point very rightly you pointed out, Cherisha, because see, basically, as you rightly said, that you sweat a lot, and sweating and a high protein both goes against the bodily constitution, in the sense that it aggravates uric acid crystallization. So, in one go, protein and product protein, when it gets metabolized into the body, it actually gets converted into uric acid, and further conversion into further non non effective metabolites. It does not happen in few of the patients. There's those who are genetically predisposed, there may be a family history or something like that. And
Right.
so what happens exactly when you're working out and taking too much of a protein diet? So they do have a lot of implications as far as the increase in the uric acid, and the work post workout pains, which you are rightly describing, they don't only occur because of the over workouts. In few of these patients, when they people when they come to us, very very prolonged duration of symptoms. So in that case, when you look at their uric acid levels, and we find that these uric acid levels are very high in these few of these young people, those who have, as you rightly said, they have actually started taking diets without proper guidance. So nutritionist is very important in connection in between the gym as well as your activity and as far as the diets are concerned. So this definitely makes a very big difference. And most of the times you are rightly pointing out that you should start with a natural source of a or an organic source of a vitamins, proteins, because they do have more safety in that sense. So the side effects related to it is those which are direct proteins or animal origin proteins, they do have a very strong uric acid producing tendencies. So in those patients also, those people also, if you are taking a vegetarian source of a proteins or a plant source of a proteins, they are less toxic to the body as far as the uric acid is concerned. However, they do have a certain roles to play. So hydration is very, very important. So you should be keeping your hydration up while gymming or doing a lot of workouts.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. So, yes, like doctor said, the non-vegetarian sources of proteins have a high tendency of accumulation of the uric acid because the absorption of the proteins from these sources is really high in the body. So, there is different quality of proteins. Okay. So, these animal-based proteins like your lean meat, your eggs, they are having good quality proteins. So, the absorption from these proteins in the body is high compared to those which are plant-based proteins. So supposing even if a bowl of dal, you're assuming that it has 7 grams of protein, but the body would be maximally absorbing almost 3.5 to 4 grams of protein out of that. Okay. And that is the reason why it does not have a high tendency of accumulating uric acid in the body. All right. So that's there. Now, when I say overtraining, okay, so now people think that, overtraining, like बहुत ज़्यादा workout करके मैं बहुत ज़्यादा weight lose कर दूंगी. It does not really work like that. When you're working out, the quality of the workout has to improve, rather than increasing the quantity, like going on for 2 hours continuously for a workout. No, do it only for 1 hour, but you can increase the quality by increasing more of the weights. Or maybe if you're walking and you're completing about, say, 5 kilometers in a span of 1 hour, then you can aim at covering 5.2 kilometers in a span of 1 hour. That's how you improve the quality of the workout and don't improve the quantity. 2 बार दिन में workout करेंगे weight loss हो जाएगा does not make any sense. Okay, you're overtraining yourself. There's a lot of muscle mass breakdown that is happening, which needs good amount of reparation. So give it rest, enough of rest, and let it be repaired, or else it becomes really prone to injuries as well. Okay, so let's not do that. Injuries can be caused due to lack of vitamin D as well. Now, due to lockdown, we've not been able to go out. But now, office ke bahane, we would be in the sun for a little time. We wouldn't realize that we would be in the sun for some time or the other, and we would get some protein or vitamin D as well. Now, though at home, we're absolutely not getting vitamin D. With the office conference call, we have to shut the windows, close up the curtains, so utna bhi dhoop nahi aata hai. So, doctor, doesn't the vitamin D also, lack of vitamin D also cause a lot of injuries then?
I do support you on that, Charisha, because see, basically, when we looked at the data of vitamin D deficiency, it is really surprising. The data, world over data, is about 74% deficiency of vitamin D. And approximately Asia Pacific, we have about 84%. And when I look at the data from my own clinic in a urban area of Gurgaon, so we have the deficiency almost 94%, which is almost huge amount of a deficiency of vitamin D. And surprisingly, we have a less deficiency in the rural area, that data shows. And secondly, people say that हमारे देश में तो बहुत अच्छा sunlight होता है and बहुत अच्छी धूप आती है. Why do we have a deficiency there? Another reason, they have pointed out that the amount of vitamin D which our little darker skin makes is about 4 times less as compared to the white colored skin. So technically, even if we are exposed to a same amount of sunlight exposure, our conversion of cholesterol from our layer of the skin with the help of ultraviolet radiation which comes from the sun is far less. It is almost 4 times less as compared to the Western world. So that is one reason why we do have a vitamin D deficiency, which is very, very common. And also, if I have to say more, the vitamin D generally you require almost 2 hours of the sun exposure, and it is a direct sun exposure. Almost 30% of the surface area of the body should be exposed to the sunlight. So the very fact we have been locked out for a long time, we are almost inside. Not many people are doing walks, and if at all they go walks, they go very early or very late in the night. And by and large, those people who are working in the fields with their shirts off, the किसान खेत में काम करता है तो हल लगाता है या ट्रैक्टर चलाता है, तो these are the ones who get a good amount of a vitamin D. So the very lifestyle which we have adapted in the so-called these multinational working indoors and working on lines and things like that have also had certain roles to play. Another important fact is, Cherisha, most of the ladies, they use this sunscreen guards. That is very important. When you put lot of sunscreen or a UV screens on your face and other parts, so generally those exposed parts are covered with the sunscreen. So how would a conversion of the vitamin D happen in those situations? So that is also another fact which has been also noted to add to vitamin D deficiency.
Right.
So I think, and also, Cherisha, it has also been seen that vitamin D, it is not only a vitamin in that sense. In these days we even call it a D hormone. D hormone means it has got a lot of roles to play. It has got a huge role to play in immune modulation of the body. It prevents a lot of cancers. It also have a lot of advantages as far as the prevention of tuberculosis is concerned, healing of tuberculosis is concerned, and which is very important in our country. And similarly, in recent past, it has been also seen that because of immunity improvement, so it has been definitely been recommended during the corona period. And definitely vitamin D has a very, very important role to play. And frankly, I have surprisingly two major group of people. These are so-called hardcore vegetarians. Those who come from the background that they are, pure vegetarian. They don't take any, onion, garlic, or even something like that. And on the other hand, I have a hardcore non-vegetarian people who are daily eating only non-vegetarian for all three meals of theirs. And it is very, very surprising to me that when I get their vitamin D tested, both groups on either side, we do see vitamin D deficiency. So I don't know really, because you as a nutritionist maybe relying more on a natural sources of vitamin D, but I actually feel that those sources are not really very, very effective if you are looking for even the non-pure, so-called non-vegetarian source of diet. So in few of these people, despite having a good amount of red meat or chicken or fish or prawns and things like that, despite all that, I see most of these people are deficient. Now I don't know whether to blame it purely onto the individual, or to me personally, I feel that the source of these chicken or fish or something like that may not be that good, because most of the chicken, they are actually commercially reared. So in that case, they have a more of a caloric value than the nutritional value, if I have to really say that.
Right.
So I think that is something which we see very often.
Right. Yes. So like you said, like you mentioned that, the quality of the food product now is not that good, but it's like we need to meet the needs of the population as well. Now that, with the gym goers, lot of, especially the trainers, okay, since they have limited knowledge, they try to tell everybody to go for more of proteins because even the clients are lacking on protein. So they try to tell them to have more of eggs and more of chicken and everything. So the obviously, the demand is more, and when there is a demand, they're trying to meet the demand. So they have to go for these what do you say, unnatural cultivation or maybe unnatural breeding of the chicken and everything. And that's the reason why the quality starts depleting. So it's not all that great a quality. And like rightly you said, the farmers, they're doing the kheti wadi without any shores. They're exposing themselves to the sun a lot, and that's the reason why I think they're very less prone to injuries. They're working even at the age of 50. Whereas, frankly, I don't know if I'll be able to climb one stair also at the age of 50. So it's that, yeah. But that's because they're having good quality of vitamin D, and their chicken is like, the roaming around, and they're very healthy chicken. The eggs are very healthy again, and the milk that they're getting is more organic. The food is more organic. So yeah, it all depends on all those factors as well. So yeah, that too
So
comes
source
into the
is very
picture.
important in that sense. That's what you mean. So this is very
Exactly.
important part of
Very
I
true.
think, yeah.
Right, very true. And again, your vitamin D has a lot of other roles as well. Like you said, the immunity system, it boosts the immunity system
Yeah.
basically. Other than that, even psychologically, okay. So now with the lockdown, many of the people were staying alone because they were locked here. I mean, they couldn't reach their hometown, and then staying alone wasn't a very happy feeling. And then work stress also increased and everything, due to which, they started feeling a little very depressed. So that was again one, because they were not even exposing themselves to good amount of vitamin D. With the work hours going late, like late at night, and then you can wake up a little later, not going out, not even opening the curtains, windows, nothing, locking themselves. So that also creates, the lack of vitamin D also creates a very depressing atmosphere. So yeah, vitamin D also has a lot of important role. Along with that, when I say the protein has to go high, there are different types of proteins in terms of your whey protein, casein as well. The trainers are randomly just going about and saying that let's have this protein, but that is only because they want the betterment of the client, no doubt. But then I prefer that going to a nutritionist and planning out the whole diet is what is important, rather than focusing only on one meal. Okay, so only on focusing having proteins post your workouts is not important. You have to plan out the whole day. Okay, so yeah, there is whey protein, which is a fast absorbing protein, which is usually taken post workouts. Okay, which means it acts on your body immediately. And casein, both are the sources of milk protein only, but casein is a slow releasing protein, which is usually taken when you're going to rest. Okay, which is at night time. So usually take the casein at night time. It repairs your muscles while you're at a resting stage. So yeah, those are the proteins. And are we missing out on anything else, sir?
So is there, Cherisha, do you recommend there is something called pre-workout protein shakes? Are, few people, they really go in for proteins almost pre-workout, post-workout, and you know, I don't know. Somehow I see these people coming to me, though I have a less experience with the nutritional component of the whole thing. But just put up a few words for people out there so that they have an advantage. Does pre-workout shakes which people recommend, do they have a certain role? Because what you recommended was very natural and scientific, which is probably has got a more role to play rather than direct proteins. So if you can throw a little light on that component of diet.
Yeah, so ideally, we're not supposed to be taking any proteins before we start with the workout, because when we are working out, our body needs energy, and protein isn't a source of energy. Carbohydrates are a source of energy. Protein, basically, the function of protein is to repair your muscles. So they're supposed to be taken post your workouts. So these protein shakes that are usually given before workouts make no sense. They just add on to the day's calories, okay? And not that protein does not have calories. Protein and carbohydrates have the same amount of calories. So it's unnecessarily adding on to the calories of the day. Plus, you're going high with the protein, so you become more prone to uric acid levels going high. And because the whey protein is a processed protein, which makes you all the more, having a higher tendency of going high with the uric acid levels. But these there are BCAA, okay, even they are branch in amino acids. Basically, these are proteins, types of proteins which are not really available naturally from food sources, and that is why we're supposed to be supplementing only when we're exercising a lot. So, especially the athletes who train for longer duration throughout the day for 3 to 4 hours, they have a long training. Then they have strength and conditioning workouts and everything as well. So that's when they have a lot of excess muscle loss. Now you're supposed to be supplementing the body with BCAA so that it avoids the excess muscle loss. So usually that you see these gym goers, they're having those colorful water, the red color and blue color. They are the BCAAs that they're having during the workout so that it avoids the excess muscle loss in the body. But ideally, the whey protein is what is supposed to be taken post workout. For vegetarians, it's not necessary that you have to go for eggs, and eggs are the only source for proteins. No, you have your milk, you have your paneer, and you have curds, you have dals and lentils. All these are also really great sources of proteins. Now, many of them say that milk mein fat aata hai, wouldn't we really gain a lot of fat in the body? No, if you're going for buffalo milk, try skimming the milk twice. Okay, you skim the malai, make the ghee out of it, not a problem. You can definitely use ghee on your rotis and everything. Okay, but then when you're skimming it twice, the fat content in the milk reduces a lot. And even if you don't want to skim it, you can always go for cow's milk. It has really less amount of fat. And fat, if you go to see it, fat is everywhere. If it's in your rotis also naturally, even if you're not adding any oil or ghee on it, it is there in the rotis, it's there in your dals, lentils, sab mein aata hai. But you need to see that what is more higher in that. Okay, so when I say milk, it's high in proteins, it's high in calcium. Rather than focusing on the fat part, we need to focus on the proteins and the calcium part, and we need to see that we're not exceeding with anything. You need to have your nuts in the day, you need to have fruits, you need to have your rotis, there's vegetables, there's pulses, everything. But does not mean, and everything is healthy, but does not mean that you keep on eating only fruits throughout the day. You have to include other food groups also. So yeah, that's how the whole diet plan works, and that is why it is very important to plan out the whole diet rather than just focusing only on one meal.
So I think from discussion with you today, I have learned great things. Most important thing is that not to focus only on one diet part, which is a protein. So you have to really understand the whole concept of complete balanced diet, which needs to be charted out for individualized. So you have to individualize the diet. So it is not that you can just put in a format or a formula or can download from the app. That doesn't work very easily, because see, basically as an individual, your need or somebody's need may be something different, and the whole idea of a nutritionist behind the in the whole game of weight loss, building up a muscle, or improving the tone of different parts of the body, and gaining a little good muscle bulk, and shaping up of the body, actually does not only rely on protein shakes and protein intake. So it is very important that in the end of the day, we all have to understand the importance of charting out the whole meal. And in that, I think your role is very, very crucial, Charisha. That's what it tells me. Today's discussion actually highlights this point very strongly. I was not considering this as a very important part of the whole understanding, but with the discussion which came through today in this talk, I think it is very, very important that we all need to also focus on what we eat, just not only working out. So working out is one component of our building up, shaping up of the body, and the diet and the nutrition is another major component also, which has a strong implications on the outcome as far as the gym activities are concerned. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Doctor. So I think we have a question. Hello, sir. I met with an accident 2 months ago and got a fracture on my wrist. Now I have recovered completely. So can I get back to my gym routine?
Yeah, this is interesting. Akash, basically it depends on what type of a fracture it was, and also how much it has healed. So healing has got a vague quantification, but what we need is exactly to see your X-rays you clinically. So in that case, when your treating doctor feels that your hand is strong enough and it has got a good amount of a range of motion. So look at your wrist. Generally, a wrist will have a few movements. One is which we call a this is a wrist movement. This is one movement which we call a plantar palmar flexion. This is a dorsiflexion, or going extending the wrist. And second movement is deviation on the ulnar side and the radial side, and a rotation of the wrist. So if your wrist gives you nearly, compare it to the other normal wrist, if the wrist gives you a normal range of motion in all directions, it is pain free, and it does not give you any pain during the activity. So when you are doing little exaggerated activities, start doing upgrading your exercises. So this is after your doctor has cleared you up for the fracture, that your fracture has healed. So this is after the fracture has healed. One component. Second is that your X-ray shows that it is healed. Clinically, it shows that it is healed. So clinical X-ray and a range of motion, which I have described just now to you. So all the range of motions, if they are in the pain-free range and they are nearly full, and then probably, yes, you gradually build up your stamina and you can go for the gym activity. No issues. Sijan Singh. Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Hello, ma'am. What diet chart do I need to follow for my son who has recently joined a cricket academy and he is very enthusiastic about cricket? Please suggest. So, Sirjan, basically, when you're into cricket, it is more of a cardio exercise and it has a lot of running around and everything. So, there is a natural tendency of, losing out on the muscle content. So, you're not building any muscles, but at the same time, the quality of the muscles have to improve. So when you're doing a lot of cardio, you need a lot of energy. So carbohydrates are very important. So you need to give good sources of carbohydrates like nuts. There can be, if your kid is on a leaner side, your son is on a leaner side, you can definitely start including more of laddus, chikkis with jaggery and ghee, homemade, not the ready-made ones. So yeah, those can be included. At the same time, make the diet really rich on proteins as well, because there is unnecessary muscle breakdown that is happening. The quality of the muscles have to improve. So you can start including more of milk and milk products. If you're a non-vegetarian, then lean meat and eggs can be included in good amount, especially the yolk as well. Okay, because when you're having yolk and the egg in the right combination, that's when the absorption of the protein in the body goes high. Okay, so it's very important to have the whole eggs rather than just going for egg whites. And since he's burning enough of calories, the yolk isn't a problem. So yeah, that's there. You can include good amount of fruits during the plays while he's playing, because he cannot really have a lot of food. You can always munch on nuts. Roasted chanas are a really great source of proteins, and because they're dry, they act as a very quick snack as well. So yeah, these all things you need to include in the diet then. So there's a question for you. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
I have started training. Sorry, have started
Yeah.
training recently for the army and facing lots of injuries. What precautions I need to take to avoid this?
Yeah, so it is very important when you training for army. It is a very high end and very strenuous activity involved. So first thing, as me and Cherisha were discussing about the vitamin D deficiency, so it is very important that you also look into your vitamin D levels. Sometimes they are very low in most of the people. If you cover them up, the injury risks decrease. Reason is that once you have an adequate amount of vitamin D, it adds to good amount of a calcium. It makes bone little more stronger. So injuries to the ligamento-capsular structures, sometimes at the junctions of the where the ligaments and the tendons gets attached to the bone, those junctions become reasonably strong and pain-free. Secondly, when you are doing a lot of activity, repetitive stress injuries, they do occur because you are doing the same activity repeatedly. So, like for example, you have to run for a long hours, so you have a shin splints which can occur, and these in vitamin D deficiency with low calcium absorption and low bone mass, it can actually add to what we call a stress fractures. Even in the foot also there can be stress fractures in the metatarsals. So this is not very uncommon to see. So probably wholesome, balanced diet, which Cherisha is going to focus on. From my side, we only believe that most of the uh, vitamin D deficiencies, which are D deficiency and B12 deficiency, which are very common. So we do supplement them effectively for most of our patients. And another important would be to gradually build up your stamina. See, basically, we tend to compete, and sometimes the time frame which is given to us is very less. In that case, probably we are trying to achieve too soon, too much. So that is when the risks of injury are more high. So you have to be little careful that your stamina could be different than all your friends. But yes, in the end of the day, to qualify, you probably have to reach the lift up your stamina and almost reach almost everybody's level. So probably for that you may require little longer time as compared to the other friends of yours. Doesn't matter. In that case, probably you require gradual building up of your stamina and improving your muscular strength. And obviously dietary component, Cherisha is going to add a little more deeper thoughts into what diet would help you prevent injuries.
Right. So when you're in the army, obviously, I had visited NDA when I was doing my MSc, and I had seen their activity schedule. We even got a chance to go through their meal plans because it was a mess, and we knew what was being made and everything. So frankly, I've seen that the quality of the food is not that great, but it's what we have, and we need to make best use of it. Okay. So try including more of dals, basically dals. There can be curds, and if you're a non-vegetarian, obviously good intake of eggs so that your protein content goes high, and B12 as well. So eggs are really good sources of B12. Milk products are really good sources of B12. So paneer le lo, jab bhi chance mile tabhi have milk. Have milk in your say breakfast. One glass of milk. One glass of milk can be included at bedtime as well. You can include a bowl of curd along with your lunch. If you're not very prone to getting cold and cough, you can always include a bowl of curd again in your dinner time also, so that you're going more high with the milk intake, going high, milk and milk products basically, so that it becomes really high in vitamin B12 as well. And because your trainings are mostly outdoors, then I don't think you really have to think so much about the vitamin D. But like sir pointed out, that we tend to absorb less vitamin D when we're more covered. So if you're in your uniforms, the less vitamin D goes in. So, but yeah, I think vitamin D won't be a much of an issue because you'll be getting good amount of vitamin D. B12 is something that you need to get it from milk and milk products. So start taking them more consistently and regularly. Any quick combinations to increase protein absorption? Yes, of course, protein absorption, especially for the vegetarian, the vegan sources, the plant-based sources, the protein absorption plays a very important role when you've taken the cereals and the pulses in the right combination. So, especially when we're making khichdi. So, khichdi is always supposed to be the rice to your dal's ratio are supposed to be 1:2. That's when the protein absorption in the body goes high. Okay, same thing goes with your biryani as well. So biryani usually we make, so well vegetarians we make a lot of vegetable biryani, but uske saath there is no protein. Raita liya to itna sa we're taking biryani so much. That's not a really good combination. Try making a paneer biryani, or maybe when you're making biryani itself, instead of adding water, you can always add curd into it so that the protein content goes high. And along with that, have a nice 1 cup of raita, so that you're having good amount of protein. So yeah, the protein quality increases when you're having the right combination of cereals and pulses. I think our questions are done, Doctor. And thank you for enlightening so much on the needs of the proteins and what it can cause in the body, what harm it can cause in the body if lack of them, especially in the uric acid. I did not really know how the breakdown of the proteins could affect the uric acid levels. So thank you so much for the information,
Thank you.
Doctor.
Thank you very much. Thank you, audience out there.
Yes. All right, sir. See you soon again then. This was
Bye
really
bye. Take care.
Take care. Bye, sir.